injured essentially the rest of the season now.
Breaking news, and the chief correspondent is back. Must be big. What have you got?
As well, we'll see how long
Chelsea
he
are
remains
getting
out.
close
So
to signing a centre-back this month,
with Rand,
and also a midfielder
Jacquet.
or
Now he's
attacker
20
if
years
the
old.
right opportunity materialises.
Now,
Levi Colwill's recovery from that ACL injury is going very well, and the England centre-back remains a central part of Chelsea's long-term plans. But at the same time, Chelsea are cautiously optimistic that they'll be able to sign a new centre-back who's their preferred target this month, and talks have stepped up. One of their priority targets at centre-back is the Rennes 20-year-old defender Jeremy Jacquet.
Is this a bit of a problem area for Chelsea's centre-back targets? Because they've signed
now, on the
so
question
many,
of a
and I
new
guess
midfielder
or
attacker,
maybe marginally
I'm being told that Chelsea are working to see whether a summer 2026 target can be signed this month. And this is really significant because Chelsea have left the Champions League A slot free in their squad, so they can add another player to the squad this month. So Chelsea getting close to signing a centre-back. They're also in the market for a midfielder and or attacker, and there was everyone thinking that Chelsea were going to have a quiet window.
Who knows, but I suppose
there is
Liam,
one player that we could put on the radar of Chelsea fans, and his name is Jeremy Jacquet, 20-year-old, currently.
But that's interesting, isn't it, even that conversation, because as we've been led to believe with Chelsea, as you just mentioned, with bigger clubs, they sign the players, the head coach coaches
and Liam Rossini, who spent 18 months working in France, knows all of the best
he was so keen on him
in France,
at Strasbourg, part of Bluco, basically Chelsea.
And of course, he would have been asked, like I said, when he joined Chelsea, is there anyone you think we should be looking at?
I'm sure he's saying yes or no if he thinks he can go straight in and improve Chelsea, because
that answer was
him selfishly as a manager, he wants all the best players in
not necessarily for this window, but they are open to making signings if the right players are available at the right price.
What about just looking at Liam there and wondering what conversation he has had with Raheem Sterling down, because when he came in he said it's basically a clean slate for everyone, there's no such thing as bomb squads under Liam Rossini, and he hasn't played for Chelsea since May 2024, was on loan at Arsenal last season. 1 goal in something like 29 appearances. That was against League One Bolton in the League Cup. What about his future? Could he move on this window? We know he's not going to walk away from a huge contract, is he, at Stamford Bridge?
He's keen on a return. What our colleagues in Skysports are reporting is that Napoli, of course, led by former Chelsea manager Antonio Conte, are exploring a potential loan option for Sterling in this window. Now, we've also been reporting throughout this window that, from our understanding, Sterling would love to stay in London. And Fulham, for example, would be a club he would be interested in joining. Now, we don't know from the other side whether Fulham would explore that deal, because, as you mentioned, he'll be on quite expensive wages, and how will they negotiate that with Chelsea? So, as you mentioned again, we're kind of talking about James Ward-Prowse. It's just incredibly sad for Raheem Sterling that over the last 2 years or so he's just not played a whole of a lot of football. But you just think for a Premier League team especially, he would be a great signing. I mean, Napoli makes sense because there's so many former Premier League players there. You look at Rasmus Højlund.